What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new show to review. This is Summer House Martha's Vineyard. This is season 1, episode number 1, you guys. And this episode was titled Not Your Mama's Vineyard. So before we go ahead and get into this review, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and by sharing the video. And with that, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Summer House Martha's Vineyard, shall we? All right, you guys, so I will say that I've never watched the original Summer House that comes on Bravo, so I don't necessarily know what the premise of this show is, but this show is following, I guess you could say, a group of friends. Some of these people know each other, some of these people don't know each other, but they're going to Martha's Vineyard. Now, I noticed on the screen that the first day it said day 1 out of 15, so they're only here for 2 weeks, but throughout the show, you keep hearing them say that they go to Martha's Vineyard for the summer. The summer is technically, you know, people consider it from May until September, Labor Day. But they're only here for 2 weeks, right? So I want to start up by introducing the cast, you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at them on my laptop, and then when I'm editing, I'll put them on the screen so that way you guys will know who I'm talking about. So the first person that I'm looking at, his name is Nick, you guys. So Nick, when I kept looking at Nick kind of puts me in the mind of Farnsworth Bentley, because he was talking about the fact that, you know, he was talking about his clothing and all that kind of stuff, right? Couldn't care less. The one thing that I noticed about Nick is that gonzo-like nose, and this, what really throws me is this big ass forehead with this hairline that's way up here. But yeah, so Nick is the first person that I'm going to talk about. So we see Nick. So Jasmine Cooper, actually it says Jasmine Ellis Cooper. So she and her husband, I think they're the ones at this show that they're supposed to be the nucleus of this group. Jasmine is newly married. She has a husband. His name is Silas. I'm still trying to learn these people. I don't think I'm going to like Jasmine, and I don't think I'm going to like her husband, Silas, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like him. And we'll talk about why I don't think I'm gonna like Silas in a little bit, right? Silas, for him to, he's in his 30s, but he definitely look like he's in his 40s. No shade there, right? So the next person that I have on my list is Jordan. Now, we didn't meet every cast member in this episode, so there are gonna be some that are gonna come later, but we did meet a good chunk of them tonight. The next person is Bria. Bria, I have a little mixed feelings about Bria, and like I said, we'll definitely talk about these people as we get deeper into it. This person, she didn't show up tonight. The next person is Amir. Amir is, never mind. I'm gonna say that until we get into it. We didn't meet him. Next person is Preston. Now, this cast photo of Preston is horrendous. This hairline, I want Preston to just go ahead and shave his head bald, because it's time for it to go, sir. It's really time for that hairline to go. We did meet her, and then the next person is Alex. Alex is an interesting looking character, but that's the cast, right? So I'm gonna go back down the line and we'll do it again. So we have, so far we've met Nick, Jasmine, Silas, Jordan, Bria, Amir, Preston, Alex. Oh, and there's somebody that they did, her photo was not on the cast website, on the Bravo website, but another person we met, her name is Mariah. I'm gonna have to do some deep diving and to see if I can find a picture of Mariah. But yeah, so now that I've introduced you guys to cast, actually, let me go on here and just take a brief look and see if I cannot find a picture of Ms. Mariah. Mariah's, she's pretty and she's tall. I'm gonna tell you when I get to like my impressions of the cast, I'll tell you guys what I thought about her. But yeah, let's pause here and move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So like I said, so they're staying in a rental house in Martha's Vineyard, right? So the first two people to show up to the house were Jasmine and Silas. So Jasmine and Silas are newlyweds, right? I think they just recently got married, and they had just at this point they had just gotten married in June of 2022. So when the hell did they film this? Because they said that they've been married for a couple of months. So y'all got married in June. So are we in August of last year? Never mind. So after Jasmine and Silas arrived, we saw Preston got there. Who the hell is Lacey? All right, you guys. So back to the episode. And you guys gonna see a big jump because what it is there is a name in my list of people, right? And I don't see this person listed. I have a name in my list of people when they arrive to the house. There's somebody named Lacey, but when I look to find it, I don't find anybody named Lacey. So I could have found that could have just come out of thin air. I don't know, right? So we meet Bria. So I believe that Summer, who's not here yet, Shanice, Jasmine, and Bria all worked as playmates, right? Also Jordan, I believe. They all were playmates. So the one thing that I did notice was a trend with these people. They kept saying black excellence, which I don't have an issue with the black excellence part, but baby, can we... It was just a lot, you know? It was a lot. And I was like, so are we gonna hear black excellence the entire season? Like, are we gonna hear black excellence every episode? If so, please stop it now, because I don't want to hear it. So, what else we got to say? So Jasmine, in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think I'm gonna like her. She very much so gives judgmental vibes to me because she kept talking, the way she kept talking about Bria's relationship. So Bria is in a relationship with a guy, I forget where her boyfriend is, Simon, but he ain't in the States, right? So she kept asking her, how does she feel about the guys in the house? She's telling you she is wifed up. Now, technically, you ain't wifed up, girl, because if you ain't got a ring on your finger, you are single. So Amir gives dumb jock, you guys, because Amir's talking about, I'm from the great state of Austin. I was like, Austin's not a state. Austin's a city in Texas. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm from Texas. So he's half black and he's half Lebanese, right? Okay. Jordan arrives. Jordan, I guess that her and Jasmine are best friends. Jordan is a pretty girl, right? But Jordan is a pretty girl who knows she's pretty. I was like, oh, she's one of those types. But it is what it is, right? So after she arrives, we introduced to Mariah. Mariah is, like I said, very tall and very beautiful. I honestly thought Mariah was a lesbian, but she's not. So Nick is interested in Jordan, right? Jordan and Amir didn't know each other prior to this. They met in a group chat with the others, and I feel like those two are going to hook up with each other at some point. But let me know what you guys think if you guys watched it. But like I said, Nick, who looks like Farnsworth Bentley, he is interested in, Miss Jordan. Jordan is not interested in him because, she finds him to be corny. She said he was in her DMs and he used to like her Instagram stories. So she limited his interaction. I was like, now that's kind of... All you got to do is tell the man you ain't interested in him like that. Like, you don't have to be like... There's an easy way to let people down. Be like, hey, I get that you might like me. I don't see you like that. I ain't that interested in you, and leave it at that. But and like I said, Jordan for me, she is a cute girl, but I think she thinks she is cuter than what she is, and it is what it is, right? Amir. So for me, Amir very much so gives like he's very cocky, has a big, huge ego for somebody who just recently started getting a fade within the last, couple of years of his, couple of years. He said his mom used to cut his hair in the bathroom because his dad wasn't in his life. Oh, God. Please don't mention that again. We don't want to hear that story. No shade to you, right? So that, like I said, they kept talking about black excellence. I'm so happy the president said he hates that phrase. I don't necessarily hate the phrase. I just don't want to hear it on this show, right? It very much gives, you guys remember how like early Housewives, like Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac, and if you guys watched the Real Housewives of Dallas, they had a certain theme with those shows. Dallas was all about charity. Potomac, you guys remember, all about etiquette. Atlanta was about the who's who of Atlanta. So at one point, they all got into the hot tub with each other, and it was boring to me. Just my personal opinion, right? Somebody dared Amir to kiss the lady who he thinks is attractive or something, and same to, I believe it was, no, it wasn't Nick, it was Alex. But that's neither here nor there. So let's pause here, and we're going to move forward, you guys. Although Silas is on vacation, Silas is still working from home. So he's going to be working while they're there. Then Jasmine, we find out that she and Mariah, they know each other previously, right? So Mariah told us that Jasmine asked her to come to New York. Come to find out, Sister Girl had got evicted from her house, her apartment, and they ended up living in Mariah's car. No, absolutely not. You ain't gonna call me up to New York. But then that makes me question. So you went up to New York, so you left your place wherever you were staying at to go to New York where she was, you found out she was homeless. I would have whooped her ass. Period, point blank, right? So they wrote a show about that. I was like, really? Has anybody picked it up? I'm just asking that question. So I forgot to mention to you guys. So Bria brought her emotional support animal. He's a dog, and his name is Milo. He's really a cutie. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about this on social media about this. They had an issue with the fact that Milo had been on the couches and he's shedding, right? So Jasmine decided that she wanted to have a conversation with Bria about that, and I didn't have an issue with the conversation. I did have an issue, however, with her saying just throw the dog in the ocean. I was like, now that's disrespectful as hell if we're gonna be honest, right? Now when it comes to Milo, should Bria have picked up his fur? Yes. Just be respectful. The other thing I will say about Bria is the fact of the matter that she kept walking around with that dog in her arms, even at the dinner table. Girl, put Milo's ass down somewhere. Like, even with, like my cousins, they have a dog. Her name is Charlie. She knows not to go into the kitchen. Like, she knows that. She knows not to do that. Like, you can teach, you don't have, I get it. An emotional support animal. He does not need to be at the dinner table. He does not need to be all over. He doesn't need to be everywhere with you. He don't have to go everywhere. And if you know that your dog sheds, clean up after it, right? She did clean up his poop, but what's wrong with cleaning up after him? So Bria and Jasmine, they got into it, and I can actually see both sides, right? Jasmine feels a way that Bria didn't tell her that she was bringing the dog before she came, right? Now, I saw a lot of people was like, you need to tell the host that you're bringing the dog. Y'all do know that technically Jasmine isn't the host, right? That Bravo and whoever their production company, that's the host. So they probably knew that this dog was coming. They paid for them to get there, so. But it is what it is, right? So this was the point where I said, oh, Mariah's not a lesbian because she taught her mom and was telling us about her son and the son's father. I was like, oh, I thought she was a lesbian. No shade to her, right? So then we see Bria. So Bria was calling her boyfriend Simon to tell him how, Jasmine is trying to play matchmaker and how she said something to her about the dog. Like I said a few minutes ago, You could have cleaned up that dog hair. You could have cleaned it up. Just saying. It is what it is, right? So let's pause here and I guess we'll wrap up this episode, you guys. So, Jordan, this was the point where I was like, oh, Jordan's one of those girls who thinks she's cuter than what she is. Okay. She's talking about how she's been celibate for the last year. I believe who was out there with them? Was it Alex or was it Nick? One of those two, right? They understood it. Amir, he don't understand it, right? So this scene right here was hilarious to me. So Jasmine went into the living room. She did not realize that Bria was sitting on the couch. And so she was talking to Preston about Bria, and Bria was like, I'm right here. And so she looked and she was like, oh shit. I was like, exactly. But I would have been Preston. I would have been like, because Preston could clearly see Bria. I'm like, oh, Preston is my type of messy. I ain't gonna tell her that you talking shit about a girl that's right behind you, right? So they got ready to go out to dinner. So they went out to dinner, and Jasmine once again wants to play matchmaker. I can tell you guys right here, right now, if I stick with this show, Jasmine ain't gonna be for me. Neither she's not for me, and neither is her husband. Silas is very much so controlling, right? Because he was talking about the fact that, you know, he feels like Jordan is a toxic friend because when they go out, they be out about like 2 and 3 in the morning, but they're in New York. Like, I didn't really, I don't care. I don't like them too. I don't like them too. That's the easiest thing I can say about not Jordan, but Jasmine and Silas, that I don't like them. Then at dinner, she wants to play matchmaker, and I'm like, will you please stop trying to play matchmaker, girl? Stop it. Then she wanted to go around the table for everybody to tell what they do, and she started with Jasmine, and Jasmine said, no ma'am, we're not doing this. Try again, sis. I was like, A to the man. Thank you for that one. But that's it, you guys. This was just the introduction episode of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Let me know if you guys watched it and what you thought about it down in the comment section below, you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.